Hey, g'day. I want to talk to you today about sharpening your sales arrow. Now, I've been recently working with a client who's gone from building a seven-figure business and they've gone backwards to now a six-figure business, and they don't know why. And after doing a coaching session with them, I identified two problems. The first problem was around their sales process, and the second was around them actually understanding who their customer was and that customer journey. Now, most people will start with the sales process, but most people don't get the results, right? That only brings those short-term results. If we want those long-term results, we actually have to start looking at the whole sales or customer journey. Now, playing in the pool with the boy, and we're playing with these, and we sort of started me thinking about, well, what makes a great one of these? What makes a great arrow? And so how can we actually relate that back to business as well? Because your sales process is this pointy end. That pointy end on the arrow where most people will focus. It's the part that does the business, right? It's the part that does that makes things stick. But there's actually two other really important parts of an arrow. There's the shaft, and that gives it stability and accuracy in flight. And then there's the fletchlings at the end, and again, more stability and in flight as well. And so when you start to think about your customer journey, most people will start here at the pointy end. I like to start back here with the fletchlings. So the fletchlings there's three important questions to be asking. The first one is, what's your pain, fears, frustrations that your customer is dealing with at the moment? What is it that makes you unique so that you can actually dominate the market? And what's that message that you're actually going to be out there and selling? And so we have to actually start back here, thinking about your customer first, and what that message is that you're going to be selling. And then the shaft here. The shaft is that next part to be building, and this here is about crafting the message. There's four parts to an awesome message in marketing: interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. The interrupt, it has got to interrupt your customers, your potential customers. It's got to relate back to these fletchlings back here so that they actually stand up, they take notice of your message in a crowded market. After the interrupt becomes the engage. This has to tell them, well, what's life going to be like after using your product, your service? What is it that they can look forward to? And then the educator is explaining all of those benefits to the product or service that you sell. Only then can you have the offer. So interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. And most people focus on the offer. But if you start from back here, move your way forward when you're constructing your sales arrow, then you're going to get to the pointy end, and this pointy end is that sales process. We can talk more about the sales process later, but if you have all of that from the back to the front, then once you fire your sales arrow, then it's actually going to stick. It's going to get the results that you want without having all of that in play. You're going to be left with a sales arrow that's going to just bounce off its target. So there you go. Sharpen your sales process by starting from the back of the arrow and working your way forward. Alrighty, cheers. Have a great day. Bye.